Good morning, everyone. Give me just a minute. Takes a minute for it to get into Facebook, into our feeds, and it's still not there. So I have to start again. There it is. Okay. Morning, Lynn. Nice to have you with us today. So I'm running a little behind. I'm supposed to be going to lunch with some friends today. And morning, Jonna. Nice to see you here too. We had a fun day yesterday, didn't we, Jonna, at your house? Thank you for hosting. Morning, Tina. We'll see you tonight and have a fun time. Oh, goodness. I tell you what, gals, if I make it through till Wednesday morning when we pull out of here, I'll be lucky. I'll be lucky, but we'll get there. So, hi, Vicki. Nice to have you with us. Do you have the grandson today? I'm going to turn this around and get us going because I really don't have a lot of time to just visit today. Cute little grandbaby you have there, Vicki. I saw his pictures. He's just so cute. Jonna, that is the plan. I am not taking any stamping stuff with me, although I am going to have my computer. And so I will be doing my posts and things. I have that planned out. And I do have a new Nora Roberts book, so I'm going to be doing that. And we are looking forward to getting away. So I wanted to share with you first, before we get on to today's card, I wanted to share with you, I didn't get a chance to do this like I had hoped to, how I did these cards. Let's get that one pulled out. These 4 different cards based on how I cut the cardstock. And or the DSP, how I could change it up and make it fast and do all 4 at the same time. So I have 4 examples of this paper to show you how to do this. This is called the stack, cut, and shuffle technique. And there's lots of these techniques out there. There are ones where they cut it like on an angle and you just get 3 sections. There's one where you can cut it here and then cut them not across even, so you get 1 big one, a smaller one, and 2 smaller ones yet. I've seen it where you could just do 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's the idea of how you go about doing these. Now, I want you to see that I purposely use this Bee paper, and you'll notice that 2 of them have an exact direction. You have to use this one vertical and you have to use this one vertical. So because of that, I can't turn any of my cards sideways. I'm not going to have any horizontal cards. You stack them, you get all 4 of them the very same measurement, and you stack them together. And while I'm at it, I want you to see that I had 2 that had solid sweet sorbet backgrounds. I want those to be apart. So I deliberately did not put those side by side. I want those to be apart, so they're separated. Same thing with the lighter prints, the hearts and the flowers. Those are the lighter backgrounds. I don't want those side by side either. I want the reds to separate them. So I'm going to take these, and these are 4 by 6, and I'm going to cut them down. I want them, for these cards, I want them to be 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to cut all 4 of them at the very same time. 3 3/4. And then I'm going to turn them and do by 5. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to go on ahead and cut these so that I have 2 1/2. And I'm going to have 1 1/4 on this side. So again, they're still staying together. 2 1/2. And then I'm going to turn these, and I'm going to go 2 1/2 again. No, I'm not either. What is this direction? I think it's 3. Give me a second. It is 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Cutting them all at one time. Okay? Keeping them stacked so that they don't get messed up. And this one will be at 3 3/4. Okay, I do need my paper cutter here in a minute, but I'm going to go on ahead and move it so we can see this mat underneath it. Okay, so here's my cardstock. No, my DSP, sorry. Okay, so we had the stack, so we stacked them so that the reds were separated by the lighter backgrounds. And now we've also done our cut, but now I'm going to do the shuffle. So I'm going to leave this one on top, and I'm going to rotate this one down 1, this one down 2, and this one down 3. So I'm shuffling kind of the cardstocks. And by doing that, I have all 4 prints showing, but they're all going to be different. So here's one. I'll put that over here to the side. Here's 2. I think if I push this one up enough, you can see how the patterns go. Okay. Let's rotate down, and I gotta be careful as I shuffle here and as I move. Here is 3. And here is 4. Okay. 4 different card fronts, all done with the same cuts. Now, because I went with a bigger mat, my cards actually have a tiny bit of a margin in between from the mat showing. You could have them butted together. It's up to you. If you didn't have cards or DSP that has this definite vertical orientation, then you actually could rotate and do. It's possible, but see, I can't do that. I can't flip it because that also is a vertical one. And so I can do that. I could switch that out. But I cannot get around to turn them sideways. Does that make sense? Okay, so there is 4 mats ready to be cut and put together. Okay, all right. So let's go on ahead and let's get today's card. I needed a birthday card this week. Needed a birthday card. And I wanted to use that Be Happy card because I've got a lot of them and I've got plenty of Valentine cards. But I need to get rid of some of that Bee Mine Valentine paper. And it has some neat prints that doesn't just limit itself to Valentine. I'm trying to straighten this up. You guys know me well enough to know I have to have those lines straight. Okay, I can live with that. All right. So the card that I'm going to do is the one I posted today. This one here. And I wanted to show you a little bit about how I went about cutting it. My friend that I'm giving this to really likes this bee paper. Now, she likes the bees of the bee paper, and I don't have any bees on here. I didn't do that because that was pretty, I thought those were pretty Valentine-y looking. But I did use all of the stamps in, the flowers came from the bee paper, the bee stamp set, Be My Valentine. But the greetings came from the flower cart bundle that is in the new mini catalog. Have a lovely day. I love how our friendship has grown. Happiest birthday to you. And it looks like I've been drinking because I'm a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I have not been drinking yet. All right. So we're going to go on ahead and pull my cutter back. And I want you to see how I cut this flap right here, okay, this triangle and also the DSP. So to do that, I'm simply going to take my paper that is supposed to be at the same size, and this one's not, I'm just using it as an example, and I'm going to cut from the top corner to the diagonal of the bottom corner, and I'm going to place them right on the edge of my paper cutter. I am not worrying about measuring anything as long as I have the paper correct in terms of the measurement, which it would be 5 1/4 by 4, then I can just go on ahead and I can cut right down and get my 2 triangles, okay? So yes, this card works because you can do 2 cards with it when you cut it. You'll have 2 maps, and you'll do the same thing with the DSP. It was a little different. It's 3 3/4 by 5. And because of that triangle, I had to actually take it down more than I normally take down my mats. So when I did my card, I scored my card. It was 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. And I want it to fold so that my triangle goes from the top to the bottom. All I did was take this part of where these 2 sides meet on the score line, and I put the score line there, and I put the corner down here, and I cut like that, okay? I know it's kind of out of zoom here, so let me scoot this up. The corner of where the score line is and the bottom corner of the card, and then you can cut and you get the right angle. If you go this way, if you go from the top of the outside quarter to the score line, then your card's going to look like this. So you want to be careful there. You want to make sure you go from the score line to the bottom right corner. Okay, now I can get rid of the paper cutter completely. Okay, I'm gonna go on ahead and get rid of the paper cutter. So I have now my card. I have 3 1/8 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So I get my flap for the inside. I have a mat that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then I have a piece of DSP that is 4 by 5 1/4. I try never to cut my DSP wider than 4 inches, because if you cut it wider, well, just think, if you're 4 inches, you got 4, and the second one is 8, and the third one is 12. So you get 3 across. If you cut it 4 and an 1/8, you're going to get 1 at 4 and an 1/8, and you're going to cut again at 8 and a 1/4, and you're not going to have enough to get a third piece. So always plan your DSP to cut no bigger than 4 so that you can get as many as possible. All right, we've already talked about these 2 measurements. Now we need these. And then I have to have 2 white pieces, and they are 3 by 4 and an 1/8. So there's all my pieces for my cards. So let's go on ahead and get started. Let's take the white pieces here, and we're going to use the colors of lemon lime, and we're also going to use petal pink, and we're going to use sweet sorbet. I am going to miss sweet sorbet. I love sweet sorbet. All right, and there are 2 stems that are in the Bee My Valentine stamp set. So I just used them both. One curves left, one curves right. And I put them on my paper. I kind of centered them. I put them on my paper, and I put my block down and took them both up at one time. Okay? So I'm going to do it on that one. And then I'm also going to put on the inside piece 2 flowers. I did not bring another envelope, but I'll show you how I did it here in a minute. All right, next I'm going to take a blending brush, and I'm just going to put some lemon lime twist ink down here in the bottom, just to kind of make it look like it's the ground area. Okay, same thing here. Just build it up to the color I want it to be. And I'm good with that. Okay, we're done with this. Now we're going to take petal pink, and there are 2 different flowers in the stamp set. I'm going to use petal pink, and I'm going to put them on the shorter stem, like so. Same thing, carry it over to the inside of the card. And the same thing with the sweet sorbet. But the sweet sorbet has a different flower image. It's got more of the 5 petal. So it's going to be 2 different petals or flower varieties in the flower bed. So I'm going to go on ahead and stamp those on here. And I'm just going to hang this one over so it's kind of showing from over to the side. I'm going to leave this here. This is going to go fast, guys. So on the inside, I want to use this greeting that says, "I love how our friendship has grown." And then let's see if I can do this without making it look like I've been drinking. Happiest birthday to you. Not bad. All right. And we're going to put this one on here. That's okay, Kathy. Nice to have you with us today. Have a lovely day. All right. And we're done. Do you ever have problems getting these stamp sets or these ink pads where they won't move on you, where they just slide? I'm going to teach you a little trick, but you have to be real careful, okay? on the back side, there is a little hole right on the end. Can you see it? And if I slide my hand in up to the edge, I put the tip of my scissors in and I just push down and it will move it. And once it moves, you can just close it. Keep sure that your hand is above the scissors and make sure you push slowly and keep it in that little hole, because then it will slide it right through. If you don't, you're going to stab yourself. And I did not stab myself with scissors yesterday, just so you know. All right. Okay. This is fast. I told you I needed a fast card. I told you it was going to go fast. So we're going to start with our diagonal. We're going to put that on here. Make sure I get a little adhesive on that very, very end. So February 29th, we still have a couple of spots at least that we can add for our brayer class and our speed bingo. We have a lot of fun with speed bingo. And Jonna is so much better at it than me because I can't, you know, she's so patient and she takes time, and I'm the one sitting here getting antsy, and the next thing you know, I'm going too fast and people get confused. So instead, Jonna calls it speed bingo, and I'm much happier with that too. All right. Okay. And we're also doing brayer class online. We will teach you 5 techniques to use with the brayer. And these are not over the top things that you're going to say, I'm never going to do that. That is too messy. That takes too long. I'm not going to do it. These are simple, simple things. And, oh, Lynn, you ought to do it with us. We would love to have you do it with us. It is so easy to do these 5 techniques that we're going to do, and then it makes it so much nicer to have a new tool to play with. We buy these tools, and then we're like, well, what do I do with this? We're going to teach you. All right. Rhonda Amos, you're going to be in Costa Rica. I love Costa Rica. So good luck with that. Enjoy that. So anyhow, that's what we're going to be doing. You'll have 5 cards that will go with the techniques. I would recommend that you do the techniques and make your cards after speed bingo. Just watch. It will be on a group page so that you can come back to it and watch it again on your own time. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here. Okay, just let us know, Lynn, because our class ends on the 22nd. They have to have the order. I have to do the ordering and get everything to you by the 22nd. So make sure you sign up before the 22nd so I can get everything ordered. You're going to get a new brayer. You're going to get a package of the butterflies. And then you'll get 5 card kits. And you will get the whole class with everything in it. Okay, so I'm going to go on ahead and put this on the inside. Like so. And then on this one, we're going to put the front. Like so. All right, this is the tricky little part. So to do this, I'm going to go on ahead and put my adhesive on the back. And I want it to stay in its place. I really don't want it to come apart. So I'm going to go on ahead and kind of layer it with a little more adhesive than I normally would use. Okay. I want this to not be like this if possible, I don't want this little notch up here. Do you see that little dart looking thing up there where that V is? I'm trying to get it so that this will be right there. So I'm going to push it over and I'm going to try and center it as best I can. I'm not going to push it down. I'm just going to kind of sit it down and open it. And it's not quite centered there, but that will work for me. Okay? All right. Did I bring the ribbon? Yes, here's the ribbon. I'm going to use the border ribbon. Normally, I only go across to the back and tape it, but since I'm going through the flap all the way around, I'm going to have to use it. But I will show you there's a good reason to have that there. All right. I hear Shelby at the door. So we do not travel with Shelby. Shelby would travel. It's not that she wouldn't, but Shelby's a mess in the car. She is up and down and every which way, running around like, oh, I might miss something. And she doesn't play well with people that she doesn't know, especially other dogs. She would take off running. If we took her into a hotel, she would be like, I'm going to run and see what this place is like. And away she'd go. So instead, she goes and spends the time at her son's house. If we go to the west, he lives here in town, so we leave her there. If we go to the east of the United States, she goes to St. Louis and goes and plays and stays at Megan's house. So they take turns who gets Shelby, and I just got that twisted. Oh, well, I'll fix that after. Okay, so the only other thing I want to do is put some embellishments on it. I can't believe I actually did this with no dimensionals. I mean, that's like a huge thing for me because I love dimensionals. I'm just going to put one here. And one here. And one more. Okay. And there is my card. That's a little weird. That's kind of wonky. Let's turn it around if I can get under it. Okay. All right. There's my card. Now, how did I do my envelope? So easy. I just laid it on a piece of paper, and I did my same thing. I stamped across it with my stems, added my green underneath it with my blending brush, added all of those. Because I know this is not going into to the mail, I'm not worried about it being, destructive or not destructive, but where they don't like it. A lot of times they don't want anything down here. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to hand it to the person. So there's my card today, guys. Pretty fast, pretty easy. Nice to be able to use the Valentine paper without it being too Valentine-y. Remember, I showed you how at the beginning, how to cut the cards, the DSP for this. So you can do it. All right. I don't know what, Rhonda. It says you can do it, Rhonda. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to have to go back and see. What are you going to do, Rhonda? I'm going back up here. I got to see. I'm being nosy. What are you going to do, Rhonda? So I'm doing my first card class for a few women today, none of which has ever done any of this before. My head is spinning as to how to prep for this. It is in May, so I have a little bit of time. Rhonda, you're going to do great. You're going to do fine. You want to keep them easy? I would make the following suggestions. I would use 1 ink per card, maybe 2, but keep it simple. Because if you're overwhelmed trying to figure out how to do it, you want to keep them from getting overwhelmed with all this stuff too. So make it easy. Do your DSP, do a ribbon, do a label, and be good, So you're going to do great. You're going to do great. All right, guys. Keep in mind, our sign up for the Speed Bingo and the Brayer class is on the 22nd. You need to be signed up by then. Its cost is $30. If you're in town, you can pick it up. $35 if you have to have it shipped to you. You get a brayer. You get, even though you may have a brayer, let me tell you what, if you have more than one brayer, it is so much easier to switch out inks than to have to wash it in between, okay? So you're gonna get a new brayer. You're gonna get a package of the beautiful butterflies so I can show you how we're gonna use those to make them beautiful with the brayer. You're gonna get 5 cards and mats, and you're gonna get the video to see it. Plus, you're going to have the chance for 5 speed bingos of $15 gift certificates. It's well worth the money. For $35, it is well worth the money because you're going to get $25 in supplies. You're going to get 5 chances to win a gift certificate. You're going to get 5 cards, all mailed to you, okay? So $30 if you pick it up here in town, $35 if you need it to be mailed to you. And speed bingo is the bomb. It is awesome. You would love it. So, all right, take care. God bless, guys, and thank you for being with me today. Bye-bye.